Alright, just give me just a few moments to kind of get some last minute stuff set up here. I've got to basically go through and make sure that I turn off all the fun, joyful things that end up making me have to window out. So we'll get started here in just a moment. Alright, just about ready. Just gotta make sure I've passed this off to all the right people. Alright, there we go. Make sure that my stream is actually caught up. I guess I'll do that while I'm getting into the game. It should catch up in enough time to let me see. Did my options say from last time? Okay, good, it did. Awesome, awesome. Alright. So I've actually got a decent amount of time before the game even starts right here, just to kind of go over a few things about this game that, you know, that kind of hit me as a child. I guess, like, the first big thing is, whenever I was little, I didn't even realize that there was a classic Megaman game on the Super Nintendo. I'd played Megaman X before, but I'd never actually taken the time to look into the other ones, and, you know, I didn't realize that there was this one until I started emulating it a long time ago. Whenever I first played this game, I honestly really hated it because there's just like a bunch of little things that this game does that, you know, is just like slightly different from the classic series, but it's not close enough to the X series for me to tolerate. But as I kind of started to grow up, I started to actually get a little bit more used to the mechanics. I started to actually, you know, like, take them for what they were and not judge them off of kind of the, you know, sort of like the past experience. Sorry, I windowed out for just a second there, I'm sorry. Let me get back in. So, I really didn't have, you know, like a good outlook on this game whenever I first played it because it was just this weird little sheep that I saw, and I was just like, what is this? So this takes place more or less like a little bit directly after Mega Man 6. At the end of that game, if you haven't seen me stream it a million times, Dr. Wily gets captured, and he gets put in prison for the first time in the canonical series, I believe. But he had a failsafe set up to where his robots basically, he has 4 robots that come through and were going to activate if he didn't more or less like check in with them. So basically that's where this one kind of leads off at, is we are now trying to basically stop Dr. Wily again. There's no spoilers to this, it was Dr. Wily all along, and we are now in the game, we are now actually playing. So the first thing that really got me about this is how slow the projectiles at least appear to go. Oh, wow. I don't even know how I made that dodge, jeez. But, and then, like, the charge just takes this, like, very, like, slightly longer amount of time to charge up, and I just could not get over that whenever I was little. And there's the first mini-boss down. So this has a very Mega Man X highway stage kind of layout to it. Like, everything gets more and more broken down as you go, and then you finish with a boss fight. Or, like, at least like a seemingly boss fight anyway. I'm kind of making him jump a little bit. There we go. So this is Bass. This is his actual first introduction to the series. It's kind of unfortunate because as cool of a character as he is, he doesn't really show up in a whole lot of the games. The Mega Man Legacy Collection actually has, like, almost all of his appearances. Alright, so I was... Oh, whoops, did not mean to do that. Let's get out of here. This is basically the item shop. We'll be coming back here a little bit later down the line. But, I made the mistake while I was doing my test run of picking not really the wrong... oh, come on, let me out. Okay, there we go. I had to figure out what the hell the go back button was. But, you're supposed to start with Burst Man. He actually has the weakness chain starter, and he's pretty weak against the charge shot. But he also makes us have to backtrack, and while we are probably going to have to backtrack because I don't remember this game as well as some of the others, I would like to prevent that as much as possible. Can we make the skip? Ah, didn't make the ladder. If you jump at the right spot there, you can actually hit that ladder and you don't have to go through that little section. So this game does have a couple of advantages and disadvantages kind of over the other ones. So the enemies, like, they do seem to at least acknowledge that a not so fun part of at least a couple of the older series was some enemies just, you know, like, taking way too long to kill. Like, Sniper Joes in particular have always been a pain in the series, you know, because they take so many shots to take down. So they actually fixed that in the sense that this game, the Sniper Joe enemies really don't have a whole lot of health. The disadvantage is they immediately erased that with the fact that some of the enemies in this game have an absolutely obnoxious amount of health, like those polar bears, for example. Alright, and here's the first of many. This is all going to spell out Rush, and that basically gets us the adapters from Megaman 6. It's kind of a combination of the flight and the power adapter from that game. Alright, so that was an example of the Sniper Joe enemies. Like, the ones in this game are just, like, hilariously weak. Which is a nice little welcome change from the fact that they could take forever to kill. Can I make it? Can I make it again? Ah, damn it. We'll have a second chance. That is a really annoying jump. Alright. There we go. It takes like 4 shots to kill them. In some of the older games, it honestly took so long to, you know, so long to kill them. And it's like, it's not even that it's like a dangerous enemy. Yes, there we go. That was the trick. Oh yeah, and that's the other thing about this game. Your invulnerability frames are hilariously small. Like in the older series, you can kind of get yourself to a point to where you can kind of, you know, like, you can kind of gauge about where you're supposed to be, like, and like how long you have with your invulnerability frames, but this game just completely has its own system with them. I will say, like, kind of in response to that, it came in to me being dead. I will die a lot in this game. I am not the best at this one. This is actually one of my weaker ones. It's not my weakest, which is Megaman 8. Son of a bitch. Okay, let's try to get him. We'll get it eventually. This is one of the few places that I know, like, to search. There's this one, and then there's one in Turbo Man's level, but we won't see him for a while. Just gotta find the right spot for it now. He's gonna get hit by that. There we go. I think he might have found something. I've tricked you all. This is actually just a dog digging stream. This isn't Mega Man at all. I may die to this boss because I'm going in with a little bit lower health than I'd like to. He doesn't have the worst pattern, but he does have a very tricky pattern. He's gonna leap up into the air. He's gonna throw ice at the ground. He's gonna shoot up at the ceiling. He is being really difficult. There we go. Jump over him. He drops it at the ground. Okay, he's responding to firing. I don't remember him doing that whenever I've fought him before. You can get him into a pattern to where he'll jump up, he'll throw it down at the ground. Whenever he throws it down at the ground, you jump, and then he'll fire one straight up into the ceiling, and then he fires the horizontal one. But I think the problem is like I didn't... There we go. I think we got him this time. There we go, we got him into the pattern now. He's being a little bit different than what I'm used to him doing. But we should be fine. Yeah, we're good. Whew. He usually doesn't give me that much trouble, but that's fine. Like I said, I am not going to do well at this one. This is not Mega Man 6 for me. This is not Mega Man 3 for me. So we are going to see me die, we are going to see me flip and flop, we're going to see me mess up beams, we're going to see me jump into spikes, we're going to see me mess up my jump arcs. This is going to be fun. It's basically me playing a Mega Man game, but being out of my element. That being said, I have beat this game before, at least a couple of times. So I am at least familiar with the game. I'm not going in 100% blind. Just mostly. Alright, so let me think now. I'm pretty sure with Freeze Man down, we've actually got all of the tools that we really need to keep going through the standard rotation. Burst Man actually has a dual weakness. He is weak to both the Scorched Will and the Freeze Cracker, which is the weapon that I just got, which, for being a multi-directional ice weapon, is actually a pretty nice one. It's just not going to get a lot of showtime, honestly, because it doesn't do enough damage to warrant it, sadly. So this is kind of the intended start. Like, this is the boss you're supposed to kind of start on in this game. But that being said, like, there's only like a couple of the bosses in this game that are like super difficult. This is one of the slightly tougher Mega Mans. Like, I won't say that it's quite on the level of Mega Man 3 or like, you know, Mega Man 1 or 2. But it is definitely not, like, you know, the hardest by a long shot. It's not the easiest by a long shot, because I don't think any game can be as easy as Mega Man 5. Of course I say that, and then during my last Mega Marathon I choked really hard on 5. I didn't get the rush pieces for the final boss, and the final boss is actually a little bit tricky. A little bit slower on that than I usually am. Forgot, I can't shoot those guys and keep myself safe. I should probably just wait for the water to rise again, but this works as well. Thought about going for it. That looks a lot more difficult whenever I was playing this on the other one a while back. I was playing this on BizHawk the other day, so everything was stretched out really far. Can I make it in time? Whew, we did it. So I've got to wait a little bit on this one for the water to start picking me up, or else the spikes will get me. So if I knew the invulnerability frames of this game better, I would actually try that jump, but we're just gonna play it safe. That one we're not. So another issue I had with this game whenever I was younger was just how big everything is. Like, that is actually, that enemy we just killed was like a remake of a Mega Man 3 enemy, and it is just gigantic, and I don't know why. Too soon. Oh god, I wasn't even paying attention to my health. Whoops. Oh, wonderful. I should have paid attention to that. That's my fault. I was just blindly going through there. Admittedly, like, I usually do start with Burst Man. He has like a pretty, like, you know, even if you're just using the Buster on him, he has a pretty constant pattern, so it's not, you know, like the hardest thing in the world. What happened there is I had to kind of on the fly figure out and remember how to handle him with the Freeze Cracker. And obviously I did not handle it well. So it'll be fine. We'll go down here, we'll get another one of those. I think those are E-Tanks that I'm picking up. I'm not 100% sure. That's fine. Kind of near the end of the game, we're going to have to do some bolt farming here for a little while. So, I mean, this is just kind of... This is just going to be a little bit of that right now. It's just going to be kind of... We'll get rid of some of the bolt grinding early. There we go. That's how that fight should have went. I can't say too much about my Mega Man skills, but I can say that I am an excellent masher. There we go. Can I make it to this cycle? Oh yeah, I can. I have gone a little bit silent, just mostly because, like, I should have honestly already been through this level. It's honestly silly that I even got myself to the point that I did. Ah, shit. I should have waited. I'm gonna just focus on getting this level down cleanly at this point. I can't... how many lives do I have? Okay, I should be fine. I just want to make sure that I'm keeping things moving forward. I'm trying to get ahead of myself and it's, you know, costing me more than it's gaining me. Shit. There we go. Alright, so we've seen this 3 times now. This is all part of tactical bolt grinding is what it is. That is how that jump should have went. Okay. Let's not take any more damage than that. Okay, this time, I'm just going to use the Buster strategy because that is the one that I know. It'll take a little bit longer, but it'll be the safer one since he won't be getting pushed towards me. So with this one, we're just kind of, you know, just letting him fire his payload and then he'll either jump or he'll try to shoot his, he'll try to shoot like 3 bubbles at me. And if he does that one, we just try to interrupt his, pattern. This is a slightly, like, whenever he does the jump, it's slightly more difficult to deal with his bombs than than it is if you just kind of hit him with whenever he does that one, because there he drops him in a bit more of a pattern. Alright. Let's start just kind of busting through him. Burst through, burst man. There we go. I wish I could have hit my clinch that I hit on this guy yesterday whenever I was playing it. I got him down to basically 1 point, where I killed him with 1 point of health left. So, if you're new to my streams, whenever I play Mega Man games, you have to have at least 1 clinch. That is basically a 1 more hit and I'm dead scenario, usually ending with 1 point of life. The danger rep really isn't anything to talk about. It is a bubble and it is a bomb. It is the crash bomber if the crash bomber sucked. It is good for getting rid of Cloudman. It is good for making me press the shoulder buttons 1 extra time to get to the actual weapons. This stage has a lot of the enemies that pop up from the ground. They are a little bit more generous in this one, in that if you are paying enough attention, you can actually kind of, you know, predict them and avoid them. The next one of those weather guys, I need to try to use the ice on. There we go. I'll take that. So the reason that we froze that, first of all, is this game has just, like, you know, environments can be affected by different weapons depending on what, you know, like what you use on them. So like with this one, you can kind of influence the weather by hitting the weather bots with certain abilities. Using just the Buster makes it rain, using ice on it makes it snow. Those are like really the only ones in this particular level. There's going to be a couple of other ones later on that we'll talk about whenever we get there. But all that you need to know is these platforms would not be visible if I had not, you know, turned it to ice, which that's not the part that I'm concerned about. The part that I am concerned about is we have ourselves a little shortcut up here. First of all, insurance. There's our second letter. Ooh. I was just gonna shoot them and just keep moving, but that's too good of a present to pass up. I think those are like 20 bolts pop. Is this an E-tank? No, it's not even an E-tank. So up there is our next destination. We're going up here so that we can talk to Proto Man. We've got to talk to him twice in order to get some stuff out of him. This isn't going to be a 100% run, but this is definitely going to be a let's try to find all the cool shit run. So he tells us to piss off Smokey the Bear and to use fire in the woods, which is the other environmental effect that is in this game. See if I can make this. Fortunately, the penalty for messing this up is very minimal, but the reward is 20 bolts. Remember those guys taking a little bit more to kill. I remember mashing a lot on them, so that was kind of weird for me. So we fight Cloudman here. He has the most difficult boss rotation in the game. He is an extremely terrifying boss. So how's the weather today? Wow. I'm gonna be saying this a lot, I feel like, but I think that he is actually more vulnerable in this game because I don't seem to remember him actually becoming hittable until after he does that little flash that he's been doing, but his hitboxes and vulnerability frames are actually going away before that. So this is the best weapon in the entire game, the Thunderbolt. It is a low ammo cost, high damage, split weapon. It hits multiple times. It does a lot of damage even on one hit. It's just a plain old projectile. It shoots straight forward. You don't have to do any weird shit to get it to come out. It has a pretty decent projectile speed. Thunderbolt is the flame blast of this game. So the big gimmick of this area is it is an electric plant, and we can do two things to affect the environment here. We can power electronic shit, and we can freeze lava later. We'll be doing both of those to kind of do different things because each of them are hiding an item that I want. I feel like this section should have a little bit more challenge, but what can you do? Okay, so an introduction to the gimmick of this level. And now we can use the rush adapter. There we go. I didn't mean to mimic the whistling sound that the little metal things are making whenever they drop, but what can you do? So hopefully this path will still let me do the other part of this that I need to do. Wow. Hitboxes, please. I think I should still be able to. This is actually a good chance to use our good old friend Rush Adapter. So its base power is actually kind of not the best, but it's what it can become that really makes it great. So that fist is kind of mocking, or not mocking, but kind of referencing the power adapter and how it basically, how it more or less like has like little limited range. I should have switched over to Thunderbolt. Pause menu. This is basically Sting Chameleon 2. If you've never seen me play Mega Man X, Sting Chameleon has the exact same dance. Junk Shield is one of the more frustrating shield weapons. Not because it's a bad weapon, though. It is actually a really good shield. Whenever it's fully out, like, it will stop a whole lot of damage from coming through. It's got a good energy consumption on it. Like, there's not too much, there's not too little. It overall is, like, honestly up there with some of the really, really good, you know, like, shield weapons. But the problem is that it breaks apart the longer that it kind of hits enemies. And the thing that happens is just, you know, like, it gets weaker and then you can't rely on it as well as you can some of the other shield weapons. That being said, Whenever you're starting it, it is completely invincible, and any enemies that have a very small amount of invulnerability frames, it will absolutely tear through them. So what's happening right here is Dr. Wily is breaking into the robot museum. We're gonna see a bunch of old friends, and we're gonna fight a stupid clown robot that's dumb, using the best weapon in the game. So here's the robot museum. Snake Man, Blizzard Man. One of them is missing. Pharaoh Man, Heat Man. There's Skull Man, Ring Man, and Guts Man, which was the one that was broken out. He also apparently broke a few of the others, but we never really see them in the game like we do Guts Man. I hate this boss so much. It's not a difficult boss, it's just... I don't... Just why? That was actually like the fastest I've ever killed that. That makes up for the death that I did in Burst Man. So you might not believe this, but this is a Mega Man game. There's actually 8 robots. So I'm gonna start with Turbo Man because there is something that we can fish out of his level. And we are gonna have to go back to Junkman's level because there's something important there that I have not got, that I can save myself a ton of bolts if I just get it there. You can actually kill this guy. We'll try to for giggles. Whoops! A little bit easier than I remember. Come on. There we go. We timed it right. Four hits to the Sniper Joe does the trick. So here's where the rush adapter really shines, because these jumps are ridiculous, but with the rush adapter you can just kind of ignore them. It's a little bit annoying to get through those, but once you do, because we're trying to avoid that big tire, and then we can go down here, take a little bit of damage, it's fine. I can't remember if this is where we need to dig, or if it is... That's the one, I'm pretty sure. I think it's this one. We'll move out of his way so he can actually dig. Bad dog. Come on, dig. Yeah, I get it, okay, like, can you do it? I'll try repositioning him a little bit. Like, I feel like he knows something is here, I just don't think that he can reach it from the angle that I'm hitting him at, so let's try right there. Oh no, he just outright denied me that time. Yeah, go for it. Get it! Come on. Stupid dog, come on. Please. I love you. Yeah, you gotta dig for it. Let's try this lower one. Okay, he's actually finding something. He must have, like, known that it was close by, but just didn't know where to actually put it. So now the adapter is a lot better, because now the adapter has a lot longer range with the charge shot, does a little bit more damage, and it homes. Oh man, Courage the Cowardly Dog. Yeah, stupid dog, it made me look bad. Okay, I'm actually gonna switch away from the adapter here. These flame columns are whatever, because these ones won't kill me instantly. These, on the other hand, are reminiscent of our good friend Quickman, and I hate them so bad. Oh wait, what am I doing? Sissy is dead now. Goodbye, Sissy. You will be remembered. So we're supposed to technically use the noise crush that you get from Shade Man, but we are not going to do that because we are instead going to use this and get hit by his really high damage attack. I'm actually going to use an energy tank because shit. I'm waiting for him to rev his motor for that. That's how I know to do that. There we go. I have to just be max distance on the screen. Okay, that wasn't the worst in the world. I'm missing a Proto Man visit somewhere, and that is irking me. Like, the problem is like, I remember this game well enough to know that I am missing a second Proto Man visit. I just don't remember exactly which level it's in. I know Shade Man is kind of my end goal. That is where I'm gonna last meet him. Alright, so now we're gonna go to Slash Man stage. I really feel like it was in Turbo Man stage, but I cannot for the life of me place it right now. So right there was an example of they fixed the Sniper Joes. They did not fix enemies like that. Excuse me. We'll just ignore that one, even though he's shooting missiles at us. Oh yeah, and another advantage of this shield weapon is this thing carries across other screens as well. We're basically in Robo Jurassic Park right now. Alright, we're gonna try for this. Alright. Then we come back down that way. Awesome. 4 shots on a Sniper Joe, like a billion on a fucking Stegosaurus. I almost corrected my jump way too far back there. think I probably could have used the junk shield on him, but I'm not really sure. The Scorch Wheel is a very fun, albeit dangerous weapon. There, that's the one that I needed to burn. I can't remember exactly what I need to do to break him out. Is it the Scorch Wheel? Nope. I think it's honestly that I just need to get him to swing against the wall enough. Oh, come on. No, it's not that. No, that would definitely have done it. There we go. That took a lot longer than it should have. I couldn't remember how to actually get him out of there. We have 3 life, so I'm just going to soak a death on this one, and then we'll actually go into him for real. We can try, but I have a good feeling I'm probably gonna die. There we go. So his rotation is he's gonna jump up here, he's gonna drop RNG eggs everywhere. There we go, whatever. That was a really quick death animation. So I'm gonna hit him with ice. He's gonna drop little bloopy eggs at me, and then he's gonna charge, and that's gonna be the end of it. There is no real way, as far as I know, to tell where those are gonna drop, so sometimes you can just get stuck really bad. I generally tend to favor this corner right here, just because it kind of gives me that good thing, and he usually doesn't drop them here in the corner. And then right there he did. But it's okay, it only takes like 4 shots to kill him. 4 or 5, something like that. The slash claw is a really cool weapon, only as much as it's not a great weapon. There's something about the melee weapons in Megaman that always seem to fall short in some category. I think the Fire Sword in 8 is like the closest thing to a good one, and even that one's kind of a stretch, honestly. Whoops. I guess we'll go here then. Okay, yeah, we're not getting any of that noise. It's got such a cool name, Slash Claw! It's not exactly like the most useless weapon, it's just that there's so many other weapons that do its job and more. Well, I just stayed in the air just long enough for him to hit me with that, didn't I? I hope you guys like springs, because that's what this level's whole entire gimmick is just springs for days. Damn, I can't make that. Damn it. That same jump got me yesterday, too. I'd say this was probably one of the levels that honestly made me dislike this game, or like, yeah, like that made me dislike this game because of like the weird mechanics, because like I just, you know, like in Mega Man, like I know what jumps I can kind of make with ease and what kind of jumps I can kind of, you know, like maybe struggle through a little bit. With this game, it's just kind of like, I don't know where my hitbox actually is, and that's not on the game, that's on me. It's not really something that the game does wrong as much as me not taking the time to actually learn the, you know, kind of to learn the ins and outs of it. Damn it! Okay, so if I get to the boss and I'm low on health, I need to use an E-tank because I'm on, I think, 0 lives now. I'm gonna cheat through that section this next time. This whole entire stage is another one, like, so in Mega Man 6, I kind of mentioned that, like, the additional items that you get, like, I like them, they're useful, like, especially the power adapter against bosses, but, like, outside of, like, you know, like, just the few gimmicky places and stages for them, they don't really see a whole lot of use. Like, the flight adapter sees a lot, but you don't really see the power adapter aside from, you know, like breaking through like 1 or 2 enemies, or if you use it for something and then don't want to switch back. But in this game, as we're gonna see whenever I do this section for like the 3rd time, we're actually gonna put this to use, and it's actually going to serve more of a purpose. We needed it for this section coming up anyways, so this is fine. We're just expediting a whole lot of stuff here. There we go. Whew! That was horrifying, I'm not even gonna lie. I think I can go this way. Nope, I cannot. Actually, can I? What is this way? Okay, there's an E-tank over here. I'll take that. Oh, no Sonic kind of skips where I can just kind of go above the level. Oh, man. Nailed it. Did not nail it. Okay, here we go. We'll get through there eventually. Okay. So our wonderful friend Springman, he is weak against the Slash Claw. And if I do this fight well, it'll look really cool. If I don't do this fight well, it's gonna be tedious. Missed him that time. There we go. Missed him. Basically every time I miss him, he's going to repeat that pattern. I think I was just a little bit off that time. It is a very narrow window. I think that was like 3 out of 5 times or something like that. Let's just lowball it and say that was 2 out of 5. Hey, Dr. Light, what weapon do I get from fighting Springman? Oh, you get fucking springs! They just spring in both directions. Remember, you can charge them up and make them bounce higher. I don't know if you've caught on, but I don't like this weapon. The worst part is it's actually a decent enough weapon. Shit. Not what I wanted to do. Oh yeah, but we did find his screw, so this is fine. We'll go ahead and get this out of the way so we can not have to deal with this whenever we have to go back again. I still need to remember to go to Junkman's stage before we start the Wily stages. So with this we can buy like a bunch of stuff, and I can honestly buy the Rush Jet now. But there's no real point whenever I can just use the he cuts all of his items in half, like in terms of the cost. So I want to try to, you know, like I want to try to use those where possible. 800 for that, so if I didn't know where the search thing was, I could have done that instead. The energy equalizer is nice, but that just saves me time. I'll be getting S-tanks, I'll be getting, you know, basically all of these tanks whenever I come back. But first we've got to throw... First we gotta go back into the... I keep hitting start, because, like, start is the universal button in Mega Man games to go to fucking stages. But this is a stupid Super Nintendo one. So there's, like, 3 buttons devoted to jump and shoot, and only 1 button that's devoted to bringing him up, and it happens to be the pause menu. Oh, I should have tried to get the Ghosts and Goblins music to play. So if you, I think it's like you hold basically like all of the triggers and jump and shoot whenever you do this. It'll play Ghosts and Goblins music for the level. There is no way to really tell where those guys are going to pop out. You've just got to memorize it and just avoid it accordingly. I don't know how I dodged that, but I'll take it. It's okay, that guy got me back. Oh, that bat almost fucked me over. That would have been fun. Okay, so... I don't think that I can get Proto Man here, but we're gonna try. Oh, okay, that's fine. 1, 2... We have to hit the inner one, but we can actually hit both of them. I think that we're missing a Proto Man encounter, though. Secret area. Boop. Yeah, we're missing a Proto Man encounter, unfortunately. That's fine. So basically if you get all of the Proto Man encounters and then you'll encounter him there and have a boss fight, it's a really cool thing where you can kind of pick up his shield as a, like, just as a thing that you pick up. It's really cool, but that's about all that it is. Like, it doesn't have any real good purpose to it. I'm just throwing Scorch Wheels out here just because there's no real reason not to. Out of all the levels, this one is probably my favorite. So now the shield gets weaker, and then we resummon it, and it's basically, you know, like just murderates them. You can shoot the shield too, but shooting the shield is infinitely less less valuable than having it on you. Oh no! Darn, I was careless. I was stupid. Oh yeah, so Base is supposed to be, he's pretending to basically be on your side. He's saying that he was also hunting Dr. Wily. It kind of spoils it whenever I say it like that, but I just want to say right now, he's got a giant evil-looking dog. Like, it's not much of a spoiler. I should probably get rid of this shield and actually get out his stupid weakness. Unless I just one-shot him with this right now. Nope. So the reason that this is his weakness is because the springs can actually reach him. I still think that's ridiculous to even have an enemy like this, though, that, you know, you pretty much have to make the requirement of his weakness something that can actually hit him from a distance like that. Oh, man. There's our clinch. The regulated clinch. The Noise Crush is a pretty decent weapon. Like, it's basically a generic projectile until you hit it into a wall, and then it becomes essentially a charge shot. It does a decent amount of damage, but the problem with it is, like, I just never have found a place for it to be useful outside of, like, you know, like the one or two things that are weak to it. So surprise, Dr. Light was messed up whenever Base came back, because Base went crazy and started busting everything up. Because you might not believe this, but he is not on our side. He stole the parts for the rush adapter that I totally have a little bit before I should. I can't believe it. Can you believe one thing, though? That it was Dr. Wily all along? Because it was. The cutscenes in this game are frustrating because you cannot skip them. At least, like, some of the text. Luckily, the text in this game is big enough that it's easy to see on stream, though. Some of the games have, like, smaller text, and then some of the other games that I've played have had really small subtitle text. I wonder if this version of the game fixes a fun translation error. So we're gonna go here, then we're gonna spend all of our bolts. So we need to take the high road this time. I'm mainly using the freeze cracker here because I can aim it down at those guys. These guys fortunately take very little hits off of the junk shield. I don't even know if they actually puncture it at all. Those guys do. Alright, so here is the second area where we can kind of affect this level. We just basically caused it to make the little platforms kind of operate on their own. Well, shit. Man, I just fucked that up every single time, didn't I? I was trying to kind of race this up here, but honestly, it's not the worst thing ever. And we did that because one of these platforms was kind of stuck right here where this ladder is. And now we have the rush jet. And since that's all that's in this level, we can actually go ahead and just exit. So before we go to Dr. Wily, we're going to go in here. And we are going to make a shit ton of energy tanks until we... Okay, we have all of those. It's annoying whenever you actually buy things in this game because it pretty much like forces you into that kind of a window all the time for it. I think we can... No, we don't have enough bolts for that. We can get 2 extra lives out of it, though. The one that we lost foolishly, and then that one. So hopefully that should be enough stuff to get us through the Wily stages and back. And if not, then we can go back and revisit and restock. Not to mention there's going to be energy and weapon tanks throughout the levels. So overall this game is not too difficult. Like, you know, like there are some of those parts in the stages where I did kind of get messed up a little bit. And that's, you know, like I said, that's like almost all the way on me. But all of that considered, the Wily stages are, you know, like kind of supposed to be the real challenge, and they actually do a really good job of that here. So those platforms, whenever you step on them, they turn out the lights. It's kind of a take on their traditional pattern where they usually have, like the moving platforms like that. They usually have it to where you can fully see them all the time. So it's just this nice little kind of like added bonus challenge to what was already like difficult enough. So this part I'd usually keep this on so that I can kind of have a little bit of safety. Because this part right here in particular is a little bit stressful. Whew, okay. Probably could have used this to have skipped a little bit of that, but I just didn't want to take the chance with it. And we're good. That was completely worthless as I picked that up and realized it. So at this point, Base is actually evil. He wants to kill you because, you know, though Wily may fear you, I do not. Fortunately, he is very weak to the enhancement that we are supposed to have been missing. So this game really doubles down on the amount of bosses that it makes you fight. Because now on top of having fought Base, we also have to fight this big meanie here. I can't remember exactly what his weakness is. I think it might be Thunderbolt. Let's find out. Well, that is if I can remember. Oh yeah, that's what does it. I don't think he'll crush it any lower than himself. Feel confident. Okay, as long as he keeps doing that. Fuck. I'm gonna use an energy tank. I used way too much Noise Crush on that. The good news is that I have those weapon tanks, and I don't think that those are exclusive to weapons, so I shouldn't really need any of those until I do get to the final stage anyway, so we should be okay. I'm more concerned about the E-tanks, because those are going to be the point where the final boss of this one is challenging, I will say. Like, not difficult, not easy, just challenging. Which, you know, it should be. I'm not saying that, you know, it's a bad thing. It's just, that's the place where I actually use some of the stuff that I build up throughout the time. I thought that was a secret little pathway. I really ought to be saving some of those for getting my... Oh, my Noise Crush is back up. I forgot this is more like a... this is more like a non-traditional Mega Man in that it actually refills your weapons after everything. Aw, man. So, now we have the real fight with Bass. We get to see him in his coolest form. Of course, he does kind of have a buck tooth in this game, just because of how they animate it. I knew this was going to be where, like, a lot of my tanks was going to be used, was in the Wily stages. He is actually a very difficult fight without the adapter. Oh boy. Come on, give me extra health, please. Oh, that was nice, thank you. Sorry, this is like the one part that I actually concentrate on. Okay, Al, come on, please, just come down. I figured you were waiting for that. Oh geez, those fires actually do a lot of damage. Shit. If I do this boss fight right, it shouldn't be difficult. That's the thing I want him to do. I'm just gonna switch weapons. Oh god, this was a bad idea. Junk shield. Alright. This is annoying. We're just going to use the adapter since we can actually... Oh shit. Oh god damn it. So, I said he was easy if I can do this right, and I did not do him right. Fun fact. Alright, let's try this again. Probably could have gotten an extra hit on him there, but honestly, I fucked this up once already. Alright, we should be able to finish him off for good now. Unless, of course, he fucking drops these stupid turtles. There we go. I do him the first time and I have like the worst fight ever. I do him this time and I get away with like losing 1 point of health. We've got one more stage and then we can go back and restock on whatever we've lost. Which at this point is 2 E-tanks, I believe. Actually, did I use an E-tank during that fight? I can't remember. I know how I can find out though. Yes, I did. No wait, no, okay. The first E-tank I used on the first boss, I believe. And then the second one I used at base, so I think I'm good. I mean, I'm not good, but I mean, I at least didn't have to use an E-tank on him. Those guys are giving me a lot of bolts. Well, I didn't anticipate that. Oh god. I hope I'm not close to game overing. What's my life look like? Oh, I am fine on life. It's fine, we're just bolt grinding. When in doubt, I'm bolt grinding. Alright, I'm not gonna half-ass this one this time. Thought I could clutch that one out. Oh, hey, there's the life I lost. So the upgraded glove there can basically, like, most enemies it will just decimate. Okay, now we have these fun little rocket platforms. Okay, I thought for a sec. Oh, I think I'm supposed to be sliding under that, but whatever. Oh boy, yeah, this is supposed to be one of these. Whew! Alright, I'm gonna try something here. Nope, that didn't work. Alright, let's just get the adapter out and let's just play it safely. Hey look, there's all 3 of the tanks I used, that's cool. I didn't have enough time to really react to that, so I just kind of did that on the fly. Out of all the things that have just kicked me, like kicked my shit in, that was a nice welcome not shit kick in. Okay, so the fun thing about this boss is, in order to damage him, I have to hit him in the eyes. I'm gonna use an E-tank, I don't want to have to restart this boss. He's not the worst in the world, but he's definitely a little bit difficult to hit his weak spot, especially since his weakness is the close-range melee weapon. I think it's Megaman and base you fight something similar to this guy, and it is a lot more difficult than him, so... I mean, like, I used an E-tank on him, I kind of messed up a little bit, but most of that was just me kind of being stupid and not having played this game. Alright, so now we are going to go restock what we do not have. We have an S-tank now, which restores weapons and ammunition. Okay, I was gonna say, yeah, like I'm gonna try to basically get as many of these as I can. Okay, can't get more of that, so let's just go ahead and get some extra lives out of this. Oh shit, I forgot. We still got the boss refights to do. That's fine. I can't remember if the boss refights are meshed into his final boss fight, or if they are their own separate thing. And I just missed all of that, that's fine. I don't know what any of these bosses are. I will show off a cool trick with Freeze Man here, though. So I'm gonna get 1 point of damage onto him. Actually, I'm gonna sit here for a moment. He actually provokes you to be the first one to attack. So we've got a point of damage on him. So if you hit him with his own weapon, he fully recharges health, I believe. And oddly enough, he is not weak against Scorch Will. His weakness is actually the junk shield. There's another enemy similar to him. It is not Slashman, though. It doesn't matter too much on the refights since I will get a large health drop, and honestly I prefer to fight him first if I'm going to do the boss refights, just because this is one of the ones I usually take a lot more damage on whenever I'm going back through here. And we pretty much essentially took 0 damage from him. Yonk, man. For such a cool weapon, his boss fight is kind of a little bit sad just because you can do that to him. And like, this guy also suffers from a really bad case of just pattern breaking. More so than the Super Nintendo version, apparently. Now Turbo Man's actually going to go a lot quicker this time. He's a nice little boss fight, but he is absolutely just piss weak against the Noise Crusher. So I think this guy, if you hit him with... No, okay. Is it Thunder? Yep. With Thunder, he actually gets this super attack right there. Alright, we're doing better this time. Until then. Missed it. There we go. And we pretty much made back all the health that he took from me for getting me with that little super suplex that he did. I feel like the these coils are bouncing a lot lower. Oh man. Okay, maybe I was just using them wrong last time. There we go. Luckily, the shaking out of things in this game is really easy if you mash hard enough. Now, I can't remember which of these that he's more weak against. I just find it easier to get Scorch Wills over on him. I say as I struggle to get Scorch Wills over onto him. I actually looked at my health there because I thought I was going to have a redo of what I did one time, or you remember earlier. Whenever I just wasn't paying attention to my health at all and just let him just wreck me. Well, shit. That's why we have energy tanks for. Okay, this actually is the final one, so... This guy's not bad, but he does a ton of damage. I'm just taking this a little bit slower than I usually would. I thought I could get him with that. Nope, not that one. That's the one. Of all the weapons for the final boss in the game to be weak against, he has to be weak against the stupid, shitty Wild Coil. And this is actually one of the harder Wily capsules, in my opinion. He does a lot of damage, and he does this little elemental attack right here that is just really difficult to dodge. Oh, I did not mean to switch to that. Okay. Let's use an energy and a weapon tank. I don't know how I dodged that. I would rather get hit by the ice than I would the other one. Alright. I'm not going to take the chance. I don't want to redo this fight, so... So luckily whenever you don't do any damage to him, he doesn't fire the spark. So this is why I got all of those, because I suck at this boss. Alright, this should be our last weapon tank that we have to use. Out of all of those, the spark is like the best one to get hit by, because that'll put me into invulnerability frames and it doesn't freeze or burn me. Freeze is second priority on the list though. And the best part about it is it's not even worth it hitting him with the spikes if you can't get a guaranteed shot on him. Okay. Just really drive the fucking point home here. And we're done. So we'll see if he does his super fun typo during this. Megaman's going to misspeak a little bit. So this is one of the few times that Dr. Wily actually just decides, you know what, you fucking beat me, I'm just gonna go, I'm just gonna, you know, fucking just... whatever. Megaman actually says, oh, they fixed it. In the Super Nintendo version, he says, I gonna do what I should have done years ago. So it's actually at this point that Wily has to remind him that you can't kill people. For as much as I disliked this game, it actually really addressed the kind of, you know, the big conflict in a lot of the Mega Man games. Where, you know, like, Mega Man actually is really determined to just beat him down this time. He was ready to, like, put an end to him here. Of course, you know, it's very short-lived. Mega Man was actually still gonna do it, though. And that's foreshadowing for Mega Man 8, which I will play at some point. I'll be right back really quickly. Alright, I'm back. So, I don't really have a whole lot left to say about this game. Like, it definitely is a lot better to me now that I can actually take the time to just appreciate it for what it is rather than what I thought at the time it was not. It does a good job of kind of blending, you know, the old school classic Mega Man with the new, like, you know, just like with a new spin on it without going way too far out of the realms of just, you know, kind of what the game was supposed to be. It doesn't stand out as anything extremely, like, you know, like, it's not extremely different. It's not extremely, like, you know, good, bad, mediocre even. I like it. I think that it's a decent entry to the, you know, into the series, but all in all, I feel like they could have they could have done a little bit more with it, I think, but I like it. I'll play it. I'll be playing it again. So obviously I'm not in such a state with it that I'm, you know, just like done with the game. This does kind of not bode well for me with the Mega Marathon that I have planned, though. That's not going to be for a decent little while. Whenever that happens, I'm going to be playing all 4 games on here, and unlike the last time, Mega Man 1 and 2 absolutely crushed me, but I can actually play Mega Man 9 and 10, and though I haven't done it in a while, I think those are going to be the games that I'm going to just absolutely pierce through. So, we'll see how all of that goes. I'll probably stream Mega Man 8 before Mega Marathon. So that's the one that I'm really concerned about. I played that one the least. I'll have a decent bit to say about it, but that one's going to be an experience for all of us. I am going to try to make sure at the very least that I know what I'm getting into. I'll try to make sure that I can, you know, talk about it and not, you know, just like have to sit there and just be dead silent while I focus on trying to Mega Man through everything. But I don't really want to, you know, like I don't really want to treat that one like I do the others. And once we get to the credit roll, once we get through with everything here, I'll cut off the stream. So I guess thanks for watching, and, you know, be ready to tune in some other time. Anytime that I do these streams, they usually go to my channel, so I mean, anybody who's watching these and doesn't catch me live streaming, you can at least, you know, kind of catch the video that I did. I generally try to, you know, like, kind of speak off all the important parts and stuff like that, and I try to read off relevant messages and such, but it's not much different than it is right now. And I think this might be our stopping screen unless it fades out. Oh, there we go. Thank you for playing. So that code down there, I believe those are actually codes that you can use to get to the multiplayer as well as, you know, like some of the other things in the game. I don't know exactly what they do or if that is what they actually are. But this game has like a handful of really interesting secrets in it. Alright, oh, that was me. I think at that point we are officially, we are at the, you know, the kill screen, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut the stream. Be ready to tune in next time, and thanks for watching, everybody.